Good day, sir. I am Jonalyn and now I am going to discuss about rhythm. Okay, what is rhythm? Rhythm is a pattern of sound, silence, and emphasis in a song. In music theory, rhythm refers to the recurrence of notes and rest silences in time. When a series of notes and rest repeats, it forms a rhythmic pattern. It indicates when notes are played. Musical rhythm also stipulates how long they are played and with what intensity. This creates different note durations and different types of accents. It means that rhythm in music it is a pattern of regular and irregular pulses. Is that when a series of notes and rest repeat in a piece of music, it forms the rhythmic pattern or what we call rhythmic pattern. So the sequence of sounds and silences make the rhythm in a piece of music. Why rhythm is important? Rhythm functions as the propulsive engine of a piece of music, and it gives a composition structure. Most musical ensembles contain a rhythm section. It is responsible for providing the rhythmic backbone for the entire group. For example, in the drums, percussion, bass, guitar, piano, and synthesizer may all be considered rhythm instruments, depending on the context that they do. However, all members of a music group bear responsibility for their own rhythmic performances and play the musical beats and rhythmic patterns indicated by the pieces of composer. We have a different elements of rhythm. The first one is time signature. When we say time signature, it is a musical time signature indicates the number of beats per measure. It also indicates how long these beats last. In a time signature with a 4 on the bottom, such as 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, etc., a beat corresponds with a quarter note. So in a 4/4 time, also known as common time, each beat is a length of a quarter note, and every 4 beats from a full measure. In a 5/4, every 5 beats form a full measure. In a time signature with an 8 on the bottom, such as 3/8, 6/8, or 9/8, that is a beat corresponds with an 8th note. The third element of a rhythm is meter. When we say meter, standard Western music theory divides time signatures into three types of musical meter: the double meter, where beats appear in a group of two; triple meter, where beats appear in a groups of three; and quadruple meter, where beats appear in a groups of four. Meter is not tied to note values. For instance, a triple meter could involve three half notes, three quarter notes, three eighth notes, and three 16 notes, or three notes of any duration. Musicians and composers regularly mix double and triple meter in their work. The Rite of Spring is a textbook example of such a technique, which is the meter. The third element of rhythm is tempo. Tempo is the speed at which a piece of music is played. There are the three primary ways the tempo is communicated to players: beats per minute, Italian terminology, and modern language. Beats per minute, or BPM, indicates the number of beats in 1 minute. Certain Italian words like largo, andante, allegro, and presto convey a tempo change by describing the speed of the music. Finally, some composers indicate tempo with casual English words such as fast, slowly, lazy, relaxed, and moderate. The fourth elements are strong beats and weak beats. Rhythm combines strong beats and weak beats. Strong beats include the first beat of each measure, or what we call the downbeat, as well as other heavily accented beats. Both popular music and classical music combine strong beats and weak beats to create memorable rhythmic patterns. The fifth element of a rhythm is syncopation. When we say syncopation, syncopated rhythms are those that do not align with the downbeats of individual measures. A syncopated beat will put its emphasis on traditional weak beats such as second eighth note in a measure of fourth fourth. Complex rhythms tend to include syncopation, while these rhythms may be more difficult for a beginning musician to pick up. They tend to sound more striking than non-syncopated rhythmic patterns. The sixth element is accents. Accents refer to special emphasis on certain beats. To understand accents, think of a piece of poetry. For example, a poetic meter such as iambic or pentameter may dictate a specific mixture of stressed syllables and undistressed syllables. Musical accents are no different. Different rhythms may share a time signature and tempo, but they stand out from one another by ascending different notes and beats. So that is the accents or the fifth elements of rhythm. The last element of rhythm is polyrhythms. To achieve a particularly ambitious sense of rhythm, an ensemble may employ polyrhythm, which layers one type of rhythm on the top of another. For instance, a salsa percussion ensemble may feature congas and bongos, playing 4/4 time while the timbales concurrently play a pattern in 3/8. This creates a dense rhythmic stew, and when properly executed, it can yield incredibly danceable rhythm patterns. Okay, when we say polyrhythms, it originated in African drumming and they've spread to all sorts of genres worldwide, from Afro-Caribbean to Indian to progressive rock, jazz, and even in the contemporary classical.